Yo YouTube everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going through a 1 million coin around Alex Morgan. Let's get right into this one. We're going to start off obviously having her up front, and I wasn't sure if I was going to do this SBC, to be honest with you guys, but we will have a player review. We'll be going through those stats and everything like that, but for now let's get through the squad builder. So we actually play in a 4-4-2, but we don't start off in that. We actually start off in a 4-2-4 just for chemistry reasons, and then we'll go through, you know, the changes and stuff like that. So we'll keep Alex Morgan as our left striker. We start off with the goalkeeper. In that goal, I went for a USA keeper just to keep that chemistry going, making it easier for those links down the line. As we go through to our left back here, I actually packed Mendy. So for me, I wanted to get him in the team. There's a couple of options you can do here, but we'll go through that in a second, and we'll go through some of the changes I think you guys could potentially make on the team. The next player I did have is Leon as well. She's a good card. She's a great card. The thing is, as centre back, she's a little bit small. It does get a little bit difficult. 5'7", just really small card there. But again, I needed someone for the links. I wanted to try her out. I think the height alone was something that kind of put me off the card, but really good defender. The only thing is, if you go up against somebody that's going to exploit it and use, you know, crosses and headers, you might struggle. In at the right centre back, honestly, I wouldn't go on the market and buy Carragher personally, but I had him untradeable hero, so I thought, why not get him in the squad? And I thought it could work out. But if I wasn't going to use Carragher, what I probably would do is I would probably go with like Tukameni. I feel like as a cheaper option, he's a really solid card. What's he even worth right now? Yeah, so like about 20k. I think he's a really solid card, and I probably would go for him instead, simply based on the coin difference. As we go through here, go to the right back. This is the card I did buy from the market, Antonio Silva, and a pretty decent card. Not coming in that much. 15k I got it for. Pretty all-rounded, pretty decent as a defender. I thought, you know, should be okay. No, she's actually good. Impressed me, and definitely would recommend using her as a right back for this team. Then we go through to our 2 centre mid, and this is where the money really starts to get splashed out here. On the left-hand side, we have the midfielder from Barcelona. We have a Tona Bonmati, I believe that's how you say it. 5-star week for absolute insane box-to-box. I believe she had a playstyle plus as well. Yeah, playmaker plus. Insane card. Again, we're going to do a separate player review, but this card I highly recommend. 250,000 coins, but I wanted, especially in a 4-4-2, my 2 midfielders to be box to box, insanely solid at everything they do, going forward, going backwards, and these two for me, incredible midfielders. Bellingham as well, just a really good overall solid card, and I just think as a box to box in a 4-4-2, these two together did a great job. If you're looking for cheaper options, I would recommend like De Jong. De Jong's a great option, and who else could there be? Maybe like, I don't really know the other one, to be honest. Right now, on top of my head, I don't really know who else you could use it, but I think De Jong's definitely one you could replace for sure. Then we go through to our left wing here, and this is where the chemistry goes down slightly. Again, something you could potentially change here. I think this is the one player that does lose chem, so it's going to be the player of the month though. Player of the month, I can't even say that. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna butcher it. You can see from the stats, nothing crazy. Literally 2 goals, 4 assists. This all like Division 3. So I did expect a little bit more. I think the way I was playing and using her card was I was using her more as a out and out winger to kind of create space, go for those forward runs, and she was like quite impactful in the team. She just wasn't involved in the final product. So I was getting her to the strikers, and then from the strikers I was doing a 1-2. So definitely a good card. If you guys did do the player of the month, I would recommend it. At minimum, it's a great super sub, but that's going to be our left winger, left mid in the game. Then we go through to our right mid, starting off as a striker. It's going to be Marta. Now, this card I had high hopes for. If you look at the actual card here, look, about 127,000 coins. I had a lot of hopes for it. I thought the card itself looks really solid as a cam. I saw the 5-star skill moves. I had high hopes. Doesn't perform as well in game. I don't know what it is. I think the card's okay. Sorry, I think the card's great, but in game maybe wasn't as good. It depends. I think the formation does make a bit of a difference. I am playing her as a right mid, and I think that's where she isn't as impactful. Maybe having her as a right winger, maybe having her as a cam would be, you know, the result. Then we have, in my opinion, my favorite gold card of the year, Sophia Smith. I actually packed her untradeable, got very lucky with that one. Great card, and yeah, she's insane. She is insane. So in game, the way it looks, this is how it looks on paper. When we go in game, what we end up doing is we go to a defensive formation. Where is it? I don't actually have it here. I'll quickly show you guys what we do. So let's just call it 4-4-2 for now. This is kind of what we went through in game, just to show you guys roughly how it looks, and you guys can kind of go through there. So I went for the short passing there. Formation wise, went for the 4-4-2, 4-4-2 flat. And then if we actually look at the player roles and kind of switch it, so Marta's now my right mid. We have Again, I'm not going to butcher this. Ajipade, I think I butchered it, but we're going to move on. As my left mid, you got your obviously your fullbacks. And the only thing I kind of changed here was Alex Morgan, I put on a poacher. For me, unbelievable keeper on a poacher. Smith is interesting because you could have her a false 9++. I don't know if I want that though, to be honest with you. I kind of don't mind the advance forward. I don't really want my striker like Smith to come back. I want her to kind of play on that back line as well. So you could experiment with it if you're going to try Smith out. I have tried both. And the thing about false 9 is I prefer my big physical strikers on false 9. I don't really love, even like with Griezmann, I kind of preferred him on an advance forward. So I think I kind of am going to keep it like that. Then we have our wingers. In terms of our wingers, we're going to have them as inside forwards. And yeah, I'm going to keep them on balance and just kind of put them both as inside forwards for now. And that's how we're going to have it. So you can see it plays like a bit like a 4-2-2-2. That's kind of how I wanted them. I wanted them as like kind of cams. Then we have Bellingham, who I'm going to actually keep as a box-to-box, keep him there. And then for Bonmati, I think it depends on the play style, to be honest. If you do have a play like I have a plus, I would recommend giving it a go, experimenting with it, and then keeping it on roaming. So this is kind of how I set up. We had a box to box, and then we had a playmaker. If, for example, you had De Jong, I know he's a playmaker as well, you can keep him there. But let's say you had somebody else that has like maybe holding plus, right? Maybe experiment with that. I do recommend trying the plus roles. I think they do better using them. Then we have Mendy. The only difference I have is putting them on defense. I just think when I didn't have them on defense, I feel like it was, I don't know, when I used them, I feel like I got counterattacked so much. So put them on defense. Again, you can, experiment if you want, maybe have wing back defense. But for me, I like just keeping it simple, fullback defense, fullback defense. So that's how I'm going to have it. It does look a bit defensive there, but I think it's good having your backline kind of stable and then going from there. Carragher does have the defender plus, which is, it's a nice thing to have, especially when you keep them on defender. Definitely a nice thing to have. I haven't really experimented with ball playing defender. It kind of put me off because it says that, they're capable of moving forward or wider support build-up play. I don't know if I want that. I don't think I want that from my centre back. So yes, he has a role plus, but I'm going to leave her as defender for now. And then goalkeeper, again, just whatever you want to do. You can actually put it on sweeper if you want, but I'll keep it like that. And that's going to be the team. That's what we're going to go with, the 4-4-2. Let's get into some gameplay and show you how the team performs. Okay, let's break down the actual team, showing some gameplay now. So as we go through, we're going to start off with some of the, untradeable players that I kind of had, just kind of fit them in there and who we can potentially replace. So like I mentioned in the build-up, I don't think you need Carragher in the team, Mendy, the left wing as well. These are a couple of players I just had untradeable in my club and I kind of built around them. But let's go through some of the staples, starting off with Alex Morgan. For me, that's who I wanted to build around. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this SBC, and then I packed Sophia Smith, and I thought, you know what, Smith's an unbelievable card. If I have Alex Morgan now, whenever I need to use that duo together, I just think they're going to, be a great duo to work with. So I got Smith, got Alex Morgan done, and then from there I wanted to build around them. So we start off with the goalkeeper. I think the goalkeeper, for me, there's only one replacement you could get, and it's going to be Tim Howard, because you get that USA link. I think that'd be very helpful for the chemistry. But besides that, I think the keeper I got was absolutely fine. Gets that green link to Smith, and I think you're chilling, and you're seeing right here the way Morgan's playing. 5-star week for unbelievable player. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to build around Morgan and Smith, and it all starts with the midfield for me. So I went for the two. You see what we went through. We went for Bellingham and Bonmati, and for me, unbelievable card here. So I just think overall the team balance was pretty good, and you're seeing in the gameplay now. We're going to break down some of the gameplay and show you guys how I like to play with this, and it really comes down to just getting the ball to my strikers and making a play from there. You see right now we go in the left wing here, we're going to go across here, and again it's all about finding the attackers there. So we go through, but the good thing about this team for me was my midfielders, they weren't afraid to shoot. So having two midfielders that, at the edge of the box, just they can shoot as well. You're seeing right now with Bellingham, this was a fantastic goal. So I'm going to actually rewind that one. Like for me, this was a big thing, because I've had other midfielders that were good, but they didn't have that shooting ability. So look at this, like right now you see me go through, and just me knowing that, okay, Bellingham's got the ball now, not only having to pass the ball to my striker, you see, like, I think Sophia Smith right there, instead of having the ball just pass to her automatically, the fact that I can take this shot for me was a really good thing for this team. So I do recommend getting a midfielder that can be box to box, can attack, can defend, can do everything. You're seeing it right there with Leon. In terms of defending quality, I do believe she's really good. The one thing I would say is what I mentioned was, against more physical team, it could be a bit of an issue. So if a team has like a Haaland, right, and they're going for crosses and headers, it may be a little bit difficult. But besides that, look, you're seeing it now with the counter-attack. And another thing about the left winger, I keep messing up her name, but the player of the month, this is what I said, where she was quite impactful. You see she's not getting the final ball in right now. This is a play, right? Brilliant play in, but she's not going to get the assist for that. So you see the ball gets to Morgan, and Morgan finds Smith. So although she was integral in that part, in that attack right there, she's not going to get the assist. So that's one thing I would say. Don't just look at the stats of your players and say like, oh, how many goals or assists did they get? Look at the actual team and how did you feel like they played? So for me, let's go through the team really quickly, the whole 11, and see if there's anyone I recommend replacing or, you know, or sticking with. So let's start off with the goalkeeper. I'm happy with the goalkeeper, like I mentioned, unless you're going to go for Tim Howard, which is quite expensive right now. I would say the goalkeeper is absolutely fine. The right back, for the budget, for the chemistry and everything. Wow. Sorry. Let's just go through this goal. What did I just see? Oh my God, Morgan, look at this goal. We go in with Smith, into Marta, back to Morgan. Right here, I was like, you know what, let's test that weak foot. Let's test that finesse. Oh my God. 5-star weak foot, finesse plus, it's a wrap. It's game over. But as we go through, yeah, the defense, I'm going to give it a solid 7.5. I think that's the one where you can make the most changes. Your centre-back partnership, honestly, can be completely creative depending on what you want. The only reason I had Dion there was because of my midfielder. I wanted Bonmati on full cam. He gets that super hyperlink. But look at that pass as well. Like, the midfield for me was so fun. It was so fun to use. But I think the defense is probably the weakest. Again, Carragher, just a really random pick for me. But because I had him untradeable, I thought, why not use him? Definitely not terrible, but I wouldn't go to the market and buy him. Me personally would go for someone like, I'll probably go for like Militao and Tukameni or Arojo, or just get one of those La Liga centre-backs in. There's so many good ones, and I think it'll be good to go. But look at this. Like, look how good Bonmati is in the midfield. Such a good card. Can't wait to do a player review on that one as we go through. And again, you're seeing Bellingham involved. So the defence, I'm going to give it a solid 7.5. I think the fullbacks are good. It just really comes down to your centre-back partnership. One thing I would say is, if you don't have Mendy as well, maybe getting a left-back from the Liga F, just to kind of give Bonmati that extra link, I think could be quite useful. Another player I was thinking, if you guys do have the budget, I was thinking of getting Loftus-Cheek instead of Bellingham, or instead of Bonmati. Loftus-Cheek's like Champions League card, and then getting Tomori. So again, another option you can get, that you can get maybe like a Kyle Walker in. So I think you can be a bit creative with your defense here to link it with your midfielders. But my biggest advice from what I've playing the game would be, have your midfielders that can do it all. Have your midfielders that are balanced, they can attack, they can defend. For me, that was a big benefit. And then we go through to the wingers. Right winger Marta, I think, was okay. I do think she was better as a cam. She wasn't bad as a right wing. I didn't mind her in my team. I still got her in my team. I still have this team, to be fair, but she wasn't bad. It's just you don't have that rapid pace on the wing that you probably want, so could potentially change her there. But again, not terrible, not amazing, just kind of a good card. Then we go to the left wing. I think the left wing was better in terms of a pure winger, just kind of having that pace going through. And I think she was definitely creating a lot of options for me down the wing, and just had really good pace for the counter attack. Then we go through to our centre midfielders. We spoke about them enough. For me, absolutely excellent. But between them, 500,000 coins. A lot of the budget does go to that midfield. If you're prepared to spend the money, I do think they were great midfielders to have. And for me, it's definitely worth having a very expensive centre mid duo, especially in a 4-4-2. I think you won't regret it. They're going to be integral to your attack, to your defense. I think you need them in your team. Then we go up front to Morgan and Smith. For me, 9 out of 10. I think Morgan's taking a way of getting used to. I think with the Poacher plus, you do expect someone with a bit more pace. So I think looking back at this, I feel like it'll be much more beneficial and maybe get a 10 out of 10 rating if Sophia Smith had the Poacher plus and Morgan had the false 9 plus. The reason why I think that'll be so much more beneficial is because Morgan's long shots are incredible with that finesse plus. I think having her as a false 9 would be good, right? Because she can play deep with a 5-star weak foot. Really good stuff there. And Sophia Smith's got that rapid pace, good dribbling. You're seeing it right now. I think she'll be better as a poacher. However, because of the roles of the actual card, you don't want to play like that. You want to play to their strengths. That's the only one weakness I would say. But besides that, incredible cards. Is the Morgan SBC worth it? That's the big question. I think it's a tough one. It really is a tough one because it's a lot of coins. It really is a lot of coins. It took me about 200,000 coins, and I had a lot of fodder. So it's going to cost you a couple of 100,000 coins. The only reason I personally did it was because I had Sophia Smith. And I think if you are a fan of Smith's card like I am, which I think is a great gold card, I think it's worth it. I do. It just depends on your club and your situation. It's hard because it's an untradeable card, right? So you have to kind of look at your club and your situation. But do I regret doing it? No. I think the card's good. I definitely think the card's good. And I think he'll be a great striker for my team for the next few months as well. So for me, I thought worst case scenario, even if, the team, I don't use her anymore, I'll definitely use her as a sub for the next few months. So I thought it would be good. And for me, the 5-star weak foot was a selling point. And yeah, I don't regret doing the SBC. YouTube, hope you guys enjoyed the video and the gameplay. If you guys did, drop a like. Let me know what type of team you want to see next time. And I'll do that for you guys. Catch you guys then. Peace.